Hi everyone! It's me, and today let's get funky! Together.
I need a vid on an awesome game, ideally one that's been getting lots of acclaim. Time to go and check the lore. And we'll see if there is more. Friday Night Funkin', it's been a couple weeks. Let me see if there's been any kind of story leaks.
Press enter to cringe. I really like it. It's like press enter to cringe.
Hello Internet, welcome to Game Theory.
Hi!
Where our raps are at the level of a PS1 era rhythm game. A little over a month ago, I started my speculation and predictions
Oh my god, PS1, that is so old. Oh gosh. Right now it's PS5 already.
about the lore of Friday Night Funkin', the smash hit indie title that came out of nowhere to give people the game that they didn't realize that they needed, Dance Dance Revolution. Yeah, it's just DDR, but with more swearing. And I gotta tell you, if Konami ain't reaching out to these guys to buy their game and add it to the Dance Dance Revolution franchise, they are... Who am I kidding? They just turn it into a pachinko machine. Anyway, you wouldn't expect this style of game to come packaged with a lot of story, right? You press arrows in time with catchy music and throw a 90s era screensaver into the background. Boom, cut, print, sell 1 million copies. Well, Funkin' actually takes it a step further. We know via AMAs on Reddit with the game's creators that there is indeed an overarching story, and that with regards to that story, each week is gonna have a reason to exist.
It's true. So there is a lore, there is an overarching story, and there is an existence.
At the heart of it all is the story of a boyfriend looking to have a delightfully chaste Friday evening with his girlfriend playing Scrabble. That's what they're aiming to do, right? That's what the Friday Night Funkin' is a reference to. That's what I did on Friday nights. I spent Friday nights watching the VH1 Top 10 Music Video Countdown, playing Yahtzee with my family. That is not a joke. We played Yahtzee. We were not a Scrabble family at all. Anyway, as we covered last time, there's a lot of people standing in the way of that evening of board game ecstasy. Ex-rock star Daddy Dearest, current pop star Mommy Mearest, boyfriend's ex-boyfriend Pico.
Pico and BF are canonically exes. That is real. That is not meme. That is real.
Killer shape-shifting lemons, and sentient video games. If you're interested in any of that, I recommend watching the previous episode where I went into a whole bunch more detail. But there was still one week that I hadn't covered yet. Week 7, Tank Man, where our hero and his girl are dropped into a post-apocalyptic war zone. So how does this fit into the story, and what could it mean for future weeks? Well, wouldn't you know it, but I have a theory. 2, actually, and honestly, both of them are probably more accurately defined as hypotheses, but anyway, it could all lead back to the appearance of a certain stick-figured cult favorite, which would blow more minds than the conclusion of Kingsman. So are those fingers ready, all you Friday Night Funkers? Then let's go! Now, as we get started, let me make it perfectly clear that I'm aware that the game devs have gone online to talk about some of this stuff. In fact, we're about to listen to some of those exact clips in order to analyze them, but regardless of what gets said, this is clearly a game that's still in progress. Things are still being fleshed out, smoothed over, and until the final release, anything can change. Or
True, under construction.
heck, they can be lied about to misdirect the
So, Pico wants to shoot and kill boyfriends, that's why he has a gun. Pico and exes.
audience away from the truth. Just saying, if you listen to these lore drop streams, it sounds like the story is just being made up on the spot.
The story when you see the full game will be that, like, they go up to the... It takes place after Christmas. Like, the parents have accepted them, or it's after Halloween. But, they meet somebody else. He's just one of many in, like, a large world of people who have been affected by the parents.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Some of the best stories come out of improv. And this story is already shaping up to be a lot of fun and not take itself too seriously. But it also means that we should take everything that's being said in these lore streams with a grain of salt. And with those disclaimers out of the way, it's time to talk Week 7. The latest level to be released, Tank Man, takes things in a new direction. Here we see Boyfriend face off against Tank Man, or more accurately, Captain from the Tankman videos. A Flash series that is so iconic that the tank is literally the Newgrounds logo. Though in this case, the animation actually came after the logo. Oh, and to be clear, despite this guy being called Captain, he isn't actually a captain. He's actually a sergeant who happens to be named John Captain. Anyway, since their day was going so slowly, Tankman decides to challenge Boyfriend.
If you think about it, right? That means if I name, oh sorry, that means if the person's name is called Major, alright, and then his rank is called is Private. So people call him Major or people call him Private. Think about it. It's kind of fun, isn't it? Thought experiment.
To a sing-off.
We should just kill you, but it's been a boring day. Let's see what you got.
After losing the first 2 rounds, Tankman offers his men to open fire on Girlfriend, and that's when things get a little weird. It's here that Girlfriend reveals that she, just like Mommy and Daddy, is a demon with her own set of powers. We can even see her little devil horns during the game over screen. Kinda worried about the rest of that skeleton though, she's got them dense bones. Anyway, what happens next is a little bit unclear. Just as she's getting ready to attack, we cut to Pico arriving on the battlefield to shoot down Tankman's army. Tankman loses one final time and we're done with the week, and pretty much the canonical releases of the game.
BRB, be right back.
At least until development's done or another teaser gets dropped or something. So that at first seems pretty cut and dry, but actually there's a fair amount to cover here. It is, without question, one of the most lore-heavy weeks of the game. So let's start with the biggest question, timeline placement. Friday Night Funkin' already has some weeks out of order, so this might get a bit tricky. While we don't have any official confirmation about when this level takes place in the greater overall story, we do have ourselves some hints to go off of. First, Tankman does have this one bit of dialogue that seems to suggest it might take place closer to the end of an academic school year.
Sorry, no prom for you this year.
If this is indeed taking place near prom, it would make sense for this level to come after Christmas, meaning that everything we've seen so far would basically be taking us through an entire academic school year. Halloween in week 2, then Christmas in week 5, then spring in week 6's video game, notice the pink cherry blossom trees in the background, and finally the reference to prom in week 7, which traditionally takes place near the very end of the academic year. It suggests that the whole game might be a school year's worth of romance between these two characters trying and repeatedly failing to get it on.
But you must think that maybe this game doesn't exist in USA, in which, as what my pet mentions, April, the month of April. Maybe it's on other months, like for example January, February, or even November or December. It might be a possibility.
Friday after Friday after Friday. Makes you kind of think that the week numbers referenced in the game aren't so much weekly releases, but rather the weeks of a calendar year as these characters try to have some romance. More interesting though is the other hint about this week's timeline placement that we get from the developer Phantom Arcade during one of his Twitch streams.
There's supposed to be a week that comes before week 7. Parents sort of pretend to be nice to him so they can torment him. They tell him that, you know, here, we'll let you take our daughter on a little vacation. They get him on a plane. The boyfriend and girlfriend fall from the plane. The parents had no idea that they would land in the military zone, but they're there by chance. So then they find the Tankman.
So
by chance, wow, lands on the military base by accident, vacations by accident, meets Tankman by accident. What a coincidence!
the stage right before this will be on a plane with boyfriend and girlfriend thinking they're going on vacation, when in reality it's yet another trap to have boyfriend killed. Interestingly,
It's a trap!
this makes it the second time that we get an indication that Mommy and Daddy are trying to lure boyfriend into dangerous scenarios where he might get taken out. The first was during Halloween.
But anyway, like, when the boyfriend's accepted by the family, they sort of invite him over and, like, play cruel tricks on him. So they make him come over to their, like, spooky Transylvania house.
But the most interesting thing to me is the reference to a plane trip and the special surprise antagonist coming for that week. Now this is just pure speculation, but what other Newgrounds character has a lore entwined with planes?
Speculations. A game speculations. A theory, I guess.
Someone who fans would get really excited to see and who just got way more attention because of the release of his game's final installment. A character whose publishers already decided to cross-promote by including him in the absolute smash hit Among Us, Henry Stickman.
Whoa! Oh my god! No way!
Those of you who don't know, Henry Stickman is the star of yet another Newgrounds classic, a choose-your-own-adventure game published by Innersloth, the same team who did Among Us.
Among Us, see? I know it!
Now, while it might seem random to pull him, of all characters, into Friday Night Funkin', consider this, he's already in there. In week 5, he's already there hanging out in the background of the Christmas Mall. And considering how much of a super collab of Newgrounds celebrities this game is already shaping up to be between the inclusion of Spooky Gang and Tankman, not including Henry Stickman would be a huge gap in that guest list. Plus, as I already mentioned, planes are a huge part of his series. Episode 3 of the Henry Stickman collection is titled Infiltrating the Airship, which, as the title suggests, features Henry and his pilot friend and absolute fan favorite Charles Calvin.
I think I can hack this panel to get the door to open. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Breaking into a massive airship controlled by the villainous Topic clan. The airship is so iconic to the series that it was then introduced as a standalone DLC map for Among Us. And if there's anyone who can relate to plane trips going awry, it's Henry and Charles.
I gotcha.
Okie dokie, sending down that jet pod. Alright, here I come.
It's also worth noting that all of Henry's endings in Infiltrating the Airship are in a desert, the location that it seems that boyfriend and girlfriend land in when they apparently fall from the plane to meet the Tankman. Heck, Henry's story even starts and ends in a desert, again connecting to the military wasteland where week 7 seems to occur. But the possibility of a collab with Henry Stickman also opens another door explaining all the weird goings-on of the game: dimension hopping. The game is literally boyfriend and girlfriend bouncing around between different Flash animated titles and worlds trying to get back to their reality, or vice versa, pulling all of those
Oops, wrong dimension.
characters into their Friday Night Funkin' world. Now, that might sound insane, but remember what's been canonically established in the game so far. In week 6, we're told that Daddy Dearest actually sends boyfriend and girlfriend into a video game.
This is the girlfriend's dating sim that she used to play all the time.
And hey, if Daddy Dearest has the ability to take people and trap them into old PS1 era games, maybe he's capable of doing the exact same thing in reverse, taking characters out of pieces of media and pulling them into his world. After all, Tankman in week 7 does have multiple game over lines where he explicitly acknowledges and then proceeds to break the fourth wall.
Maybe you should go play week 1 again. You gotta press the arrows, kid, not to slap your keyboard like your blind uncle. Hey, here's some Friday Night Funkin' lore for you. I don't like you.
You do not just casually drop the word lore and not expect me to come rolling into town.
Huh. It's like, here's a law for you. I don't like you. Wait, what? I mean, what? Why?
Point is this, Tankman talks like a guy who knows that he's in a rhythm game, which would make sense if he literally had the experience of being pulled into said game. And while these are all most likely jokes, Newgrounds crossover events are a frequent occurrence, and just as often, the crossovers have a canonical in-universe reason or justification for happening. Case in point, one of the Newgrounds characters that's confirmed to be coming to Friday Night Funkin' in the future is Hank Wimbledon, the main protagonist of the Madness Combat series on Newgrounds. If you're not familiar with it, Madness Combat follows Hank on a series of violent adventures where he battles his arch nemesis Jesus, Tricky the Clown, and their armies of zombies, all set to the song The Chicken Dance. There's obviously more to it than that, but suffice it to say that the incredibly popular and incredibly difficult Friday Night Funkin' Tricky mod actually includes Tricky the Clown and his demon form, all a reference to Madness Combat. Anyway, the inclusion of Hank Wimbledon actually links Funkin' to yet another Newgrounds crossover title, Newgrounds Rumble. While you wouldn't expect a beat 'em up to be heavy on the lore, Hank's story in Newgrounds Rumble actually ends with the note that, quote, someone had managed to transport Hank to another world.
Another world?
If Hank can kill the reality-twisting clown, that's one step closer to an end to all of this. Now, this was obviously the result of Tricky the Clown, but it does show a history of Hank getting dragged into other game worlds against his will, just like what we see happening with Daddy Dearest in week 6. And why would he be called into the world of Friday Night Funkin'? Well, remember, we know from developer confirmation that Daddy Dearest recruited Pico in week 3 specifically as a mercenary to take Boyfriend out. If he's in the market for a mercenary, well, he couldn't ask for a better and more efficient killing machine than Hank Wimbledon. According to dedicated fans who've gone through
From Madness. Madness Combat.
And done a body count, Hank's responsible for 692 deaths throughout the Madness Combat series. I wouldn't be surprised if, after Pico's repeated failures to take out Boyfriend, Daddy Dearest decides to call in the big guns, Hank. If the characters from other worlds are indeed aware that they're being pulled into the world of Friday Night Funkin', well, that might explain why Tank Man gets so meta during his week. It's also worth noting that the second level we see Daddy Dearest appear in, the Christmas level Red Snow, is a veritable who's who of recognizable Newgrounds faces. There's Ken Star from Girl Chan in Paradise, we've got Meat Boy, who was a Newgrounds Flash game character before Super Meat Boy ever appeared on the Xbox.
In which, if I remember correctly, MadPat make a video about Meat Boy in the past, I think. Okay, it's one of the episodes that you can find in the Game Theorists. Yeah, I think.
Henry Stickman, like we talked about, Blockhead from Blockhead. We'll be here all day if I try to rattle through all of the more than 20 characters that we see in the background, and honestly getting too deep into some of the details might risk some demonetization. Suffice it to say that there seems to be worlds clashing here, and there's evidence to suggest that it might actually be part of the lore. The last real quick thing I wanted to call out here about week 7 was Girlfriend's demon power. She gets ready to use it, only for Pico to come rolling in to save the day.
Wait, are you really sure that it is demon powered, or maybe it's like another world? Sharingan! What am I doing? I even say Monkey Kill.
Or is that really what's happening? That's what everyone has assumed, but notice that there's a cut between her preparing to use her powers and then Pico's entrance. Could her demon ability actually be teleporting, or summoning Pico to come to the rescue? Maybe she's hopping them to a different timeline, or flashing them forward in some way. It's kind of like how in WandaVision, Wanda uses her powers to skip things forward by a little bit to regain control of a situation. It's also how the final hidden ending of Henry Stickmin goes. After creating so many multiverses with all your choices, the whole thing has to be reset. The timeline has to be righted. Look, all I know is that her and her family seem to control reality in some way, hopping into and out of video games, making characters' spirits disappear and reappear, and so the ability to flash through timelines wouldn't be too much of a stretch. After all, it's important to remember that Friday Night Funkin' started its life as a small project created in a few days for an indie game jam. The prompt for that competition? Stuck in a loop. I don't know about you, but Friday Night Funkin' doesn't really have a lot to do with loops as it currently sits, but maybe it might just wind up being a time loop, and Friday just never seems to arrive. But hey, now that I think about it,
I really like the I really like the Friday reference. It's Friday, gotta get on Friday. Oh gosh. Oh, that reference, I feel so old.
One thing that's made this game so successful, other than, you know, the curvy demon MILF antagonist, is its music. I mean, the songs bop.
I can't make the music not bop.
So much so, in fact, that I've actually started to listen to them on the go, like, you know, in my copious amounts of free time. And thanks to today's sponsor, Raycon, listening to music on the go is easier than ever. Raycon earbuds give you 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design for a comfortable noise-isolating fit, all starting at half the price of other premium audio brands. I've actually started using my Raycons around the house when I'm cleaning or cooking, and honestly, when you work in the basement and have a 3-year-old who's stomping around above you, the noise isolation really comes in handy. Plus, Raycon earbuds come in a variety of different colors and patterns with no dangling wires or stems, so not only do they sound cool, they look cool as well. And with a 45-day free return policy, Raycon is sure that you're gonna feel the same way. Otherwise, you can just send them on back, no cost to you. Raycon's been kind enough to offer us theorists 15% off if you use our link to purchase, which means that that incredibly low price is that much lower. So why not check them out today and see what all the hype's about? Check out Raycon and support our channel by clicking the link down in the description box or going to buyraycon.com/MattPat. That's buyraycon.com/MATPAT. And I'll see you all in the next video. Remember, it's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much. I really like it that at the end it's like, but hey, that's just a theory, a game! You know what I mean. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Don't forget to support my channel. Don't forget to follow my channel, and sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next video. But hey, not this part. This is the part, okay? But hey, that's just a game. Wait, did I do it wrong? One more time. But hey, that's just a theory. a game theory. Thanks for watching. Thank you. And I'll see you in my next video. Subscribe! Thank you so much. Thank you.